What would make the most followed K-pop idol in the world vanish without warning? One day, Jungkook was sharing casual selfies, behind-the-scenes studio clips, and intimate glimpses into his life. The next, his entire Instagram was gone. Not deactivated, not renamed, deleted, erased, as if it never existed. An explanation. No final post, just silence. For fans who had followed every like, every comment, every filtered photo, the deletion felt personal. Like a door had been shut and locked from the inside. But was this really about privacy? Or is Jungkook trying to send a deeper message? It started like any other day in the K-pop world. Fans were scrolling through their feeds, expecting another glimpse into the life of Jungkook, BTS's youngest member, global pop icon, and one of the most beloved figures on Instagram. With over 50 million followers and counting, Jungkook's feed wasn't just content. It was connection. It was comfort. But suddenly it was gone. And warning. No cryptic post. No archived stories. Just a cold, digital void. His handle, @apdefki__Christuxes, now redirected to nothing, and ARMY. Used to surprises, wasn't prepared for this one. When fans flooded Weverse with panic, Jungkook responded, but briefly. I deleted it because I wasn't using it much. Don't worry. But for fans who followed him for years, the explanation felt incomplete. This was the same Jungkook who once said he loved communicating through Instagram. The same Jungkook who posted gym selfies at 2 a.m., shared travel clips, and documented moments that felt more personal than promotional. SOY walk away from a platform that gave him full control. Was he tired? Was it burnout? Or was there pressure coming from somewhere deeper? As the dust settled, theories exploded. The HYBE theory: some fans believe Jungkook was advised, or even forced, by HYBE to delete the account. Why? Perhaps to consolidate fan engagement into Weverse, HYBE's own platform, or maybe they couldn't monitor Instagram the same way. And that made them uncomfortable. The control theory: others suspect it was Jungkook's way of reclaiming control. Instagram, after all, is filled with trolls, obsessive fans, and millions watching your every move. Could this be his quiet rebellion against always being watched? The clean slate theory, a more emotional theory, that Jungkook is preparing for a new chapter, that by deleting his past, he's shedding an identity, one that no longer fits the man he's becoming. Maybe he isn't erasing BTS memories. Maybe he's clearing space for something no one expects. Here's what made fans even more suspicious. Since deleting his Instagram, Jungkook stopped doing lives. He rarely posted on Weverse. His direct communication with fans, once spontaneous and open, became almost non-existent. This wasn't just deleting an app, this was a digital disappearance. And the silence wasn't loud. It was strategic. Is Jungkook creating distance to protect himself? Or is he preparing for something the fandom isn't ready to hear? Industry insiders have quietly noted that Jungkook's actions line up with many artists who are preparing for major reinventions. When artists clear out their digital history, said one PR strategist, it's often a signal that something big is coming. A new brand, a new message, a new contract. Could Jungkook be making room for his next era? One that isn't just solo, but fully independent. Some armies went back to his final lives and posts before the deletion. And they noticed something strange. In one clip, Jungkook said, "These days, I just want to do things on my own time." It didn't sound dramatic, but now, fans wonder, was that his goodbye? When an artist like Jungkook deletes a platform where he had total freedom, it forces us to ask, is this a transition into something more controlled or more liberated? Is this goodbye to the idol version of him? Or is this Jungkook finally claiming a space where he's not just a performer, but a man in full control of his destiny? Jungkook might never explain this fully. He might never give fans the closure they're looking for. And maybe that's the point, because sometimes silence is the loudest statement, and sometimes deleting your past is how you reclaim your future. As of today, Jungkook remains enlisted in the military, out of the spotlight and out of reach. But the digital scar left behind, his vanishing from Instagram, still lingers, and fans continue to ask, was this just an app deletion, or the first step toward a future no one expected? What is Jungkook preparing behind the scenes? And when he returns, will he still be the Jungkook we knew? Or will he be someone entirely new? When Jungkook deleted his Instagram, it wasn't just about losing photos. For many fans, it felt like losing a piece of themselves. Young fans who grew up with BTS during their most formative years had turned Jungkook's posts into daily rituals. His dance clips, his soft-spoken musings at 3 a.m., his quiet selfies, his chaotic, unfiltered moments. Now, it's all gone. N.O. archive. No trace, as if that entire era never happened. And in a time when digital connection is the only connection most fans have, the absence feels devastating. This isn't just an artist's decision. It's the funeral of an online world, and no one was ready to say goodbye. Could Jungkook's decision be the symptom of something darker? Beneath the filters and fame, Jungkook has long battled the crushing weight of global expectations. The golden magne, the all-rounder, the one who's supposed to never make a mistake. But even the strongest idols carry invisible scars. Even perfection shatters in silence. Did the constant surveillance finally become unbearable? Did he grow tired of living a life curated for millions at the cost of his own peace? Or worse, was Jungkook trying to tell us that he's been hurting for a long time, just without the words? Let's ask the uncomfortable question. Where was HYB in all this? No official statement, N.O. acknowledgement, N.O. reassurance to the fans. This is Jungkook, the same artist who generated billions in solo revenue, the face of a generation, a cultural icon, and his entire digital identity was wiped out without any public support from the company that built an empire on his back. To many, HYB's silence wasn't just cold, it felt strategic. Could this be part of a rebranding operation? Or a deeper fracture we're not supposed to see? There are whispers among fans and K-media outlets that internal tensions between Jungkook and HYB may have simmered quietly for years and are only now beginning to surface. Every move Jungkook makes is a message, and deleting his past could be a signal, not of loss, but of rebirth. Perhaps he's not running away. Perhaps he's returning to himself, a version not filtered through choreography, social media strategies, and public personas, a version that is raw, human, untamed. Could we be on the brink of meeting the real Jungkook? Not the idol, but the artist? The visionary? The rebel? Maybe this isn't the end of the story. Maybe this is just the prologue to his true beginning. Here's what we know. Jungkook's military service is nearing its end. The world is waiting. But this time, we're not just waiting for a comeback. We're waiting to see which version of him returns. Will he rejoin BTS in perfect harmony? Will he break the mold and pursue a completely new artistic identity? Or will he shock everyone with a move no one, not even HYB, can control? The possibilities are terrifying and thrilling. So we return to the question, why did Jungkook really delete his Instagram? Maybe it was nothing. Maybe it was everything. Maybe it was the only way he could scream in a world that only hears him sing. Until he speaks again, we are left with only silence, and in that silence, a million fans whisper the same thing. Jungkook, wherever you are, we're waiting. But deep down, even they know, the Jungkook who returns may never be the same. For years, Jungkook was the most transparent idol in K-pop. He laughed freely on live streams. He cried in front of millions. He answered fan questions unfiltered. He let us into his world, completely. And that's exactly what makes his silence now so loud. Because when someone who always shared suddenly hides, you can't help but wonder, was he ever truly free? Was this whole time a cage disguised as connection? And was deleting his Instagram the only act of rebellion he could afford? Maybe he didn't just delete an app, maybe he deleted the version of himself we thought we knew. Army Twitter exploded. Reddit threads swelled to thousands of comments. YouTube creators rushed to analyze every frame of his last live. Even mainstream media outlets began to question, is something wrong with Jungkook? Some fans begged others to respect his privacy. Others couldn't sleep, worried this was a cry for help. And some went darker, believing this was part of a larger cover-up, a breakaway from HYB, or even a quiet exit from the industry itself. What happens when the most visible person in the world wants to disappear? We're taught to think that idols live perfect lives. They're rich,
Adored.
worshipped. But that illusion shatters when one of them starts pulling away from everything we expect. Could Jungkook's quiet retreat be his way of surviving the fame he never asked for? Or is this his warning to the others, to the fans, the members, the entire K-pop system, that he won't play by the rules anymore, that he's ready to make his own path, even if that means burning the old one down?